Hello, this is Ben with Before Treasures. Welcome back to our channel. We are so thrilled to be inviting 200 subscribers to our channel. We're just getting started. We appreciate every one of you. Thanks for watching what you have to join us on this journey of vintage reselling, discovering how to use the tools at our fingertips with the power of internet, AI technology, different apps to make this possible, that we can find a treasure in the wild, in a thrift store, in an estate sale, find out what it is, find its value, and connect it to the person that's wanting to make that their precious treasure in their own home, and make that a career, make that an actual business that you can either have part-time or full-time. On this channel, you're going to find ideas on how to go and find items for yourself, to learn what vintage items are, what their worth is, and go and connect them to the buyer using the different platforms and technology from eBay, Mercari, Poshmark, our own website, and other tools, including TikTok. Today, we're going to look at how we were able to take $10 and reach $1,000, and several other examples along the way where we took just a few dollars and reached hundreds. So come along and let's see what sold on Before Treasures. Here is our own website. We love having our own website, and we do have tools that port all of our products automatically from eBay to all our different websites, including this one here. Please leave a comment if you want to know how we do that. Let's look at the first thing we're going to sell that sold. This is one of our biggest items that sold this last month, is this incredible chess set with chairs and a marble top. You can see the beauty here. Let me just go through some of these images. You can see that this is a picture that we have taken to try to demonstrate the different details of the metal pieces, how the chairs go together. Those little fabric pieces can come off, and then we've also learned that the chess set people love to know the weight of the king and the height of a king. So if you have a chess set and you can demonstrate the weight and the height of the chess pieces, you're more likely going to get that sale. Or instead of having them wait to send you a message and asking for that information, if you can provide it directly in the listing, they're going to be more likely to just, let's buy that. That's what I'm looking for. So just, that's a tip. Weigh your kings and height. Now, this piece we got in an estate sale, and we have estate sales here that you have to line up or be first in line, and you need to be kind of quick deciding because somebody's going to take something. This was on the listed website. When we saw the listing, we're like, oh, that's probably going to be really expensive, but it was only $200. And we said, you know what, from quick research, we know that that's over $1,000. Let's put a sold sticker on it. And we did. We looked at the piece and we were able to find it, and we decided to buy it. Well, look what it sold for. This is actually an offer that we were able to work out with a buyer of $1,700 and plus shipping. And we were just thrilled that we were able to mail that out to the buyer, and they received it within 2 days. We actually mailed it in 4 separate boxes. Ed is an incredible packer and able to separate and figure out how to mail them out. So it wasn't such an incredibly overwhelming process, but it was the first time that we actually mailed 4 packages for one listing. So that was a great experience. And maybe we need to go through how that works on eBay one day, but I wanted to show you here that also we have when we listed this. So you could see that we listed this in October and it sold here in January. So that's about a 4-month wait where we had to store that and have that in our warehouse. But we felt like this one was worth the wait and worth the time, and we were just thrilled that it actually made it home, made a sale, and we got a great review from the buyer the same day they received it, which is always a great encouragement to us. So that is our chess set that we were able to put 200 into nearly 2,000. So that is one of our favorite things, is when you can get around 10 times of the money invested. And so if you put in $2 to get 20 to get 200, or 200 to get 2,000. So we're very thankful for this find and this sale. The next one is kind of a fun one, is we found these plastic molds. This is something we generally stay away from because we don't have a lot of storage space in our warehouse. And so we have to think about that. But this was Christmas time. We found this at a thrift store, and they were only $10 for all 3. And so we said, okay, we looked them up and we saw that it was really consistently selling. We got them all, put them in our car, and I wanted to share this fun image with you where we just put it in the car. We realized how funny it was to see this Mary in the back seat glowing. So this is Ed saying hi to the Mary in the back seat, and we drove around with Mary, and We enjoyed having some jokes about that as we were driving around, but we got them home and two of them didn't work. The light bulb didn't work. And then I had to do some research and realize how you can replace the fuses inside these cords, and we got them to work. And so we took some pictures you can see here of them on, really nice details. Again, pictures really matter, and you want to provide at least 10 really all sides of the object so that people can know what they're looking at and feel that confidence when they're buying. And it sold within the day for $160. So we were happy to get those in the box, and they all fit in one box, and we shipped them out. But then just like 2 days later, in another thrift store, we found the same pieces in the original box. And I just was so happy when this happens that I was able to go and list this sell similar and relist it without having to take new pictures. And it sold again in a few days. And the buyer didn't know they had the original box because it wasn't worth taking the pictures again. And they got that as a bonus. So we got to sell 2 of these this Christmas season. And you can see we listed them in the 7th, and it sold just in those the weeks around that. So that is a really fun find. Definitely glow modes, we realized, are extremely popular around here in Wisconsin, at least, where people love to put these outdoors in the wintertime, or Halloween decor, Santas, and they have just flown off the estate sales we've been to or thrift stores. They come and are out immediately, and in our store, they come out immediately too. So blow modes, definitely something that right now is very popular, these vintage ones. And another example of that is this Rooster that we paid. I think Ed just told me we paid $3.99, $4, and it sold for $140, I think $240. Because we just accepted an offer on that. And of course we accepted an offer on that. When we put in 4 and you're getting over $200, that's an incredible value or investment made. You can't do that in really any other market besides reselling. That's why you can take your money and put it into the stock market and hope that it grows. But the growth from $4 to $200 within this case is about 5 months is very, very rare. So that's why we love this business. It's a great way to use your money. And so again, blow molds are still very popular. This one, again, how do you find out the details of this as a fancy farm? Well, this one told us it was a fancy farm light, but also you can take pictures with Google Images and find similar items and often find the titles. That's definitely one of the things you should watch out in one of our videos on how to use Google Images to find titles or other brands of the object you're taking a picture of. So definitely blow molds. This next piece was found on Facebook Marketplace. So that's a great way to keep an eye out for things that people are trying to get rid of, quickly because they're moving or different situations, and they'll put a product up at a great price. And this one is one of the cases that somebody put up a Waterford lamp with the original lamp shade from Waterford with the name Waterford right on it for $50. And so we quickly let them know there's the brand here, that we want to pick them up, and within an hour or two, we had bid up and paid cash, and they gave us the lamp. We listed it, and this was probably 2 weeks. We had this lamp, not too long, and it sold for $250. So that was taking 5 times the money. But when we know that it has, based on a research and experience with brands like Waterford, that you can flip something that quickly, you gain that experience. There's the Waterford brand in the shade. So that is definitely another thing to look out for, is Facebook Marketplace, and giving yourself just time to scroll and research and then reach out to people. And we have often reached out to people and not been the first one, and we miss out on different opportunities. So depending where you are in the area you're in, you're going to have different experiences with that. But that's a nice opportunity, not even to be having to leave your home and going shopping for treasures from different people. So that is our Waterford crystal lamp that we were excited about, and recommend keeping an eye out for Facebook Marketplace finds. The next one is we paid $9.99, and this is Members Mark, and there's other Kirkland are from Costco, kind of, or maybe in Walmart, but Costco purchases from the past, and they are definitely always sellers for us. Like we never hang on to any one of them very long. So we always grab them. And look at, you take $10 and you get over like 150 for this one so quickly. And we know from experience that these move because maybe somebody had one in their life, because they are, they're kind of mass market pieces, but maybe one broke and they need a replacement because it meant something to them and their family. Again, that's that emotional piece that we love to be a part of for people, finding those memories brought back into their life. So look at these pictures with the measurements, very important to show all the different details so that people have all the information and context when they look at this, because somebody might think these are little if they're not aware of some type of ruler or object to give context to how big these are. So this is a large box to ship. And so there is expenses in that too, the boxes, the padding, the packaging. But when we're taking 10 to get 150, we're happy with that. So definitely keep an eye out for these type of things. They're great. Now we're getting to a little bit more rare, harder to specify. This is a vase that we paid $199 for, and this is back in August. So we're getting here in the summertime at a thrift store. Now, Ed is the one that found this, has a really good eye. On the bottom here, it says Japan. I would have probably passed this up because when I think of Japan, I'm often thinking of the pieces that were made post World War II to help rebuild Japanese society. They did a lot of replicas of Hummel pieces and other brands, kind of an off-brand, and they were in many, many homes across America. You'll find them in thrift stores all the time with things labeled Japan. The value of there is not much resale value there. And maybe somebody's looking for a specific piece, but they're really imitation. But this is one of their actual brands from Japan that does, of course, hold the value, as you can see here in the price that we sold it for. It was about $129 offer that we accepted. So we took $2 to get $129. Amazing. So definitely understand that this, to me, looks like any other vase, but it meant something that people understand the value of these hand-painted or put together vases by this brand are still collectible. And this one is in perfect condition. There's no fading on the gold trim and things like that. So definitely you're going to learn, you're going to grow. This is one of these pieces that I would have missed, but Ed has great experience on learning. And he's now, one of the things I love is that when you take a picture of something and you don't know what it is, then you do know after that. You get to learn every single time you're learning. And it's amazing how your brain is being trained on what to keep an eye out for. So your eyes, some kind of highlight something. And it's like, I've seen that before, or that's valuable. And you just gain that experience. It's almost like learning a language that you don't know much at the beginning. You just know some basic concepts and you're slowly building this vocabulary. And all of a sudden you can understand something when somebody says something without realizing it. You're understanding a language. I think the same thing happens with these images of learning the vocabulary of vintage items. All of a sudden your brain just sees it and understands it when you see something that is made by this maker or that maker. And so know that you're investing into this video of watching what we have seen sell in the last 30 days is going to be a growth in your own language of vintage as you're watching this. So thank you for joining us here. We're going to keep going because there's more, for me, very exciting things to share with you. And here we have a negative for me, a bad kind of, we won't do again kind of thing. And these are the some skis we found. These are definitely worth if you find them, buy them and sell them if you are just getting started. Because look at the value of $200 for some skis that we pay $9 for. So we paid $9 for these skis at a thrift store. Now, we don't know a lot about skis. So we knew by the brand and looking them up that they were $200. So we wanted to grab them because that's the goal, is to take $10 and make money on that $10. But in this case, because they're so large, we had to go and kind of figure out customized boxes for them. And also we had a lot of different questions from customers wanting to know, do they do this? Are they adjustable? What size? Well, we didn't know a lot of the answers, so we had to keep doing research on them. And yes, now we know a little bit more about skis, but it isn't something that we are going to continue to invest in because we like to be more in the vintage home decor category. But other people do skis, do golf clubs, do other things that are going to be specific to their niche and their passions, and are going to do a better job selling them. Maybe that's you. But for us, we definitely saw that we're happy to let these go and move forward from these skis and not repeat the process. But that's what we also want to share. We're always learning, and we try something and we find that the experience isn't something we want to repeat. So we stick in a different niche. But at the beginning, try everything. Try selling everything. So let's go back to something we do enjoy, which is glass. This is one of these pieces that we got in this for $25. Ed said we paid for this large glass piece by L.E. Smith with special beautiful rim swing glass vase that is really mid-century strong and very, very popular coming back. There's huge communities that collect these. There's people that are very, very passionate about these glass pieces. So definitely, if you can get a good deal on one, it's worth buying. This was $25 to $200, so that's a little bit more investment from us than the typical $10 or less, but we know that these pieces are going to sell. And this wasn't necessarily a fast sale. We're talking like 5-6 months, but it is something that we knew would sell, and so we held on to that. Now, let me tell you a little bit about this. This is L.E. Smith. There is Viking glass as well. They're often put in the same group because they're so similar. But let me tell you how you know the difference when you are listing them. Is it L.E. Smith or a Viking? I found this really nice image that talks about the 6 petals. So Viking glass has kind of a rounder base, and the L.E. Smith has, and the base looks like 6 petals, and that's how you can know that's an L.E. Smith. Now, there's many similarities, obviously, but these look very, very similar, but it's helpful when people are searching that you could label it correctly for them. Now, if somebody knows that, if they're a collector of Viking glass, they're going to understand, oh, that seller listed it wrong, but it's still what I want, or I'm going to let them know. People are pretty nice about letting you know, but just notice this article, and this is something you can do anytime. Like, hey, I think I found this, but I'm getting confused. There's 2 different brands coming up here. Well, go ahead and do a quick search, and then you'll find an article like this, which will explain, and then you'll know forever that L.E. Smith has 6 petals and Vikings are round, and you'll know, and you can move forward with that information. Now you hopefully learned something today as well. Let's just go through a few more pieces here. This is a piece we got in Minneapolis. We drove and spent a week in there and had a great time thrifting up there, and we got this for $9, sold for $300. Amazing that we can find things in the thrift store out in the wild and be able to flip for that. The next is we found in a local place that we go for $6.99, $7, sold for over $200. This mirror had to buy a special box. We use an art frame box that has kind of 2 boxes in one, and it's narrow, and it made it safely, and we're just thrilled when mirrors and these kind of things can be shipped. I think Ed does an amazing job on shipping these kind of artwork, and obviously this one is etched with a name. You see it for $6.99, you're like, this is not worth $6.99. This has got to be worth more. And so when you see those kind of things, you can sell that and move it on to the next person. So very fun. We have pieces like this, no markings, but it's something you can take a picture of, and the glass just really shines beautifully. This is Imperial Glass. This, I think he said, was $1.99, just one of those, thrift stores that just move things quickly, which we love. And we can grab that and sell that for over $100. Again, we're looking at 10 times our money most of the time, but sometimes you get way more than that. And just a few more pieces here before we get to something I really wanted to show you. This is a game that we have friends that know we sell things, or we know we like games. They got this for a white elephant gift at Christmas, and they said, you want it? And I'm like, yeah, I know that's worth money because I happen to know games. And so you're gonna get friends like that too, that hand you things that are worth money. And you're like, great, because for them, it doesn't mean they don't have the platform or experience to take pictures and list, but you are slowly growing. And so we were able to sell this one within a day at $56 offer. We like to have offers on because it creates that conversation. If the offer is too low or we're not wanting to accept at a lower price, we could just decline, but it allows for people to for them to get a deal and tell people that they got a deal as well, instead of keeping a price so firm and missing out on that conversation with people. Again, free to 56, great, let's do it, let's move on. This is another piece, $25 from a flea market that we go to in the summertime. So this was back in September, got listed. And so this one took about, of course, 3 to 4 months to sell. At Christmas time, it sold. And these are Jim Shore, one of our favorite brands to sell. We do enjoy people that enjoy Jim Shore. This beautiful Christmas set, and this has now made it to a new home at over $200. And then the final piece that we were able to buy for $5 each, so $10, getting to $800 is the offer that was accepted at the $1,200 piece from an estate sale in our area at a wealthy home. It was like a mansion, and Ed found these on the wall, $5 each, and looked up really quickly, but art is really hard to find really quickly, a lot of details if you're in the middle of an estate sale. But he saw that quality and the framing and the art and grabbed them. And we were so thrilled that, yeah, it took 6 months to find the buyer, but we were able to sell them for $800 and really easy to ship. They weren't that large, these kind of things. And so this is some of the stories of making $10 to over thousands a couple of times, and few dollars to over hundreds, and we're just thrilled. This is our second year of running our business in the United States, and we are amazed by the more than double we were at this time last year in sales. And so we hope to continue to see that kind of momentum and growth. We have some strategies we're going to implement this year for future growth. Some of our little secrets and things that we're thinking through, we definitely want to be sharing on this channel. So continue to be listening out for those. And because if you've made it to this far in the video, I'm going to share one of them. We are listing 6 items a day. That's it, 6 items a day. And we are relisting 10 items a day. So during the week, so meaning ending listings to sell similar and redoing the photos a little bit, adjusting the photos, adjusting the titles, and adjusting the price maybe by $1 or $2 to refresh those listings. And we have seen that successful. So that's one of our secrets that we definitely can explore more in future videos. If you've reached this far in the video and you've let us know in the comments below, I really appreciate your time and look forward to seeing you again in future episodes. Coming up next on this channel are videos about how to sell on the different platforms available to resellers. Of course, the biggest ones like eBay, Poshmark, Etsy, but also little ones like Mercari or TikTok, and talk about the journey from the first taking a picture to the listing process on the phone and on desktop. We want to produce a catalog of available resources so you can find a how-to video from our perspective and history to save you a bunch of time and figuring it out on yourself, on your own, like we had to do. We want to shortcut that for you. So please consider subscribing to follow along for those future videos. In the meantime, we want you to enjoy your day and remember to always put people before treasures. Have a great rest of your day, everyone.